When most people think about German tanks in World War II, they picture unstoppable war machines. The Tiger, the Panther, massive armored beasts capable of destroying enemy tanks from incredible distances. For decades, movies, documentaries, and video games have portrayed German tanks as technological masterpieces far superior to their Allied counterparts. And in many ways, they were impressive. Their guns were powerful. Their armor was formidable. Their designs were often years ahead of their enemies. But there was one problem. A problem that German propaganda rarely mentioned. A problem that Allied intelligence quickly noticed. And a problem that frustrated German tank crews more than enemy fire. Many German tanks spent almost as much time broken down as they did fighting. So why did some of the most feared tanks of World War II break down more than people realize? The answer reveals one of the biggest weaknesses in Germany's entire war machine. By 1943, German tanks had developed a fearsome reputation. The Tiger I could destroy enemy tanks long before they got close enough to return fire. The Panther combined excellent armor protection with one of the best tank guns of the war. To Allied soldiers, these vehicles seemed almost unstoppable. But battlefield reports often told a different story. Again and again, German units reported tanks being lost, not because they were destroyed in combat, but because they suffered mechanical failures. Engines overheated, transmissions failed, suspension systems broke, final drives wore out. Sometimes entire units were delayed simply because too many tanks were stuck, waiting for repairs. The reality was far less glamorous than the legend. One of the biggest reasons for these breakdowns was Germany's obsession with technological superiority. Every new tank was expected to be stronger, faster, and more powerful than the previous model. That sounded great in theory. But every improvement increased complexity, and complexity creates problems. Take the Panther tank, widely regarded as one of the best tanks of the war. When it worked, it was deadly. But when it first entered combat during the Battle of Kursk in 1943, many Panthers never even reached the battlefield. Some caught fire. Others suffered transmission failures. Many simply broke down during the advance. In some units, mechanical losses exceeded combat losses. The tank wasn't being defeated by Soviet guns. It was being defeated by its own machinery. German tanks also became heavier and heavier as the war continued. More armor meant more protection, but it also meant greater stress on every mechanical component. The Tiger I weighed over 50 tons. The Tiger II, often called the King Tiger, weighed nearly 70 tons. That enormous weight placed tremendous strain on engines, gearboxes, and suspension systems. Parts wore out faster. Repairs became more difficult. Fuel consumption skyrocketed. And every additional ton made the tank harder to transport. German engineers created some of the most powerful tanks in the world. But they often pushed technology to its limits, and sometimes beyond those limits. If there was one component German crews feared, it was the transmission. Many German tanks used complicated transmissions that struggled under battlefield conditions. Mud, dust, extreme temperatures, constant movement, heavy loads. These conditions were brutal on mechanical systems. Even minor failures could leave a tank completely immobilized. A tank with a working gun but a broken transmission was effectively useless. And repairing these components was often a major undertaking. Sometimes crews had to spend days fixing problems that Allied mechanics could solve much more quickly. Every hour spent repairing was an hour not fighting. The Panther's combat debut provides one of the clearest examples. Before the Battle of Kursk, German commanders expected the Panther to dominate Soviet armor. Instead, many tanks suffered breakdowns before reaching combat. Engines overheated due to fuel leaks. Mechanical components failed unexpectedly. Maintenance crews worked around the clock, trying to keep vehicles operational. The Panther eventually became a highly respected tank, but its early reputation was damaged by serious reliability problems. German engineers eventually corrected many issues, yet the tank never completely escaped its maintenance challenges. Mechanical failures became even worse because Germany struggled to replace damaged parts. Unlike the United States, Germany lacked unlimited industrial resources. Factories were already operating under immense pressure. As Allied bombing campaigns intensified, production became increasingly difficult. Railways were damaged. Supply lines were disrupted. Replacement parts often arrived late or not at all. A tank waiting for repairs could remain out of action for weeks, sometimes longer. Meanwhile, American factories continued producing vast quantities of spare parts, engines, and replacement vehicles. The difference was enormous. Nothing highlights Germany's problems better than comparing German tanks with the American Sherman. The Sherman was not the most powerful tank of the war. Its armor was thinner than a Tiger's. Its gun was less impressive. Yet American crews appreciated something equally important: reliability. Shermans could travel long distances with relatively few mechanical issues. When problems occurred, repairs were usually simpler. Parts were widely available. Maintenance was straightforward. American commanders understood that a slightly weaker tank that actually reached the battlefield was often more valuable than a powerful tank sitting in a repair yard. This philosophy paid enormous dividends. Mechanical reliability wasn't Germany's only problem. Fuel shortages made everything worse. By the later years of the war, Germany faced a severe fuel crisis. Training was reduced. Maintenance suffered. Crews received less experience operating their vehicles. Even functioning tanks sometimes remained inactive because fuel supplies were insufficient. Without proper training and maintenance, mechanical failures became even more common. A sophisticated machine requires constant care. Germany increasingly lacked the resources to provide it. One lesson of World War II stands above all others. Wars are not won by individual weapons. They are won by systems. Factories, supply lines, maintenance crews, fuel deliveries, replacement parts. Germany built some extraordinary tanks. No one can deny that. But building an advanced tank is only the beginning. Keeping thousands of advanced tanks operating in wartime is an entirely different challenge. And that challenge proved far more difficult than German planners expected. Today, the Tiger and Panther remain icons of armored warfare. They were powerful, innovative, and often terrifying opponents on the battlefield. But behind the legends lies a less glamorous truth. Many German tanks were victims of their own complexity. Their advanced designs pushed technology to the limit. Their weight-strained mechanical systems. Their maintenance requirements overwhelmed crews, and their reliability frequently failed to match their reputation. The result was one of the great ironies of World War II. Some of Germany's most feared weapons were often defeated by something far less dramatic than enemy fire. A broken gearbox, a failed transmission, an overheated engine. Because in war, the most powerful tank in the world means nothing if it can't move. And that's why German tanks broke down more than most people think. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. I hope you found it helpful, informative, or entertaining. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Your support means a lot and helps this channel continue creating more videos for you. Feel free to leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts or what you'd like to see next. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.